What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very short update on the overall market. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. And the offer ends very soon, just a couple of weeks. Anyways, so far, the market is just completely range bound as we get very close to about this 590 area. We've been getting these rejections on SPY, but most of the time when we're above this like 587.5 area, we're seeing some buyers stepping in. And overall, we're just range bound for the time being. So we're just waiting to see the next big catalyst. Just keep in mind that for tomorrow, it's going to be Thursday, and we have the FOMC meeting alongside Jerome Powell's speech. So we'll see what that leads to. So watch that very carefully. But for now, we're just range bound, so give this more time to develop, and we'll see how things end up going with this. When we look at our levels, I believe that SPY is going to just continue to try to ride above this 30 minutes 20 EMA. This is currently at 586 as the main support, and the resistance that's really slowing SPY down is going to be in the low to mid 589 area, very close to 590. So we're just going to remain range bound for an extended period of time. Then we'll see how things end up developing from here. But for now, we're just range bound, so give SPY some time. And be careful if you're trying to trade options because the chop could actually hurt premiums. Otherwise, we're just going to continue in this path. Now, later on down the line, I do want to call out that that's what SPY is doing for now. But later on, if you look at the daily time frame, if we start losing the low of the day, guys, if we don't hold this support is where we had this resistance at the all-time high. So this is basically around 585 to 586, this range. If we lose that range and SPY starts losing 585, I could be looking for a potential dip back down towards 580. And then if that fills us, we have this gap to fill all the way down to 576. So there is a risk of SPY coming back down to fill this gap, but there's no confirmation yet as we haven't lost 588 and we haven't lost 585 quite yet. So overall, we're range bound up here. We're just going to range and chop around a bit. There is a risk of us dipping lower, at least in the future, but for now, we're just going to be watching that range. For ES, we pumped very nicely to about 59.50. Then our support to watch for is going to be right over here around this 59.20 area. We're just range bound, kind of stuck. We'll see if we lose 59.20 or not, but overall, we're just stuck in the middle. Now, from the way things are moving, on the 4-hour time frame, we're just stuck once again, going back and forth and back and forth. We could start dipping lower if we end up losing the support here at 5,900, though. So I'll be watching 5,900 as a key level. If that breaks, we're looking for an attempt to get back down towards 58.70 or very close to that range. For now, we're range bound. We are technically a little bit more bullish as we're not that far from the high right over here, the all-time high. And we're still holding our previous all-time high as our support. So overall, ES is actually a little bit more bullish than SPY. We'll see if we continue to get a breakout or not. But for the time being, we are remaining more range bound. Tesla pumped very nicely to 290, dipped all the way down to about 275 only to get bought back up. So overall, it's holding very nicely. If we break 290, our next target is going to be around that 295 area. Then eventually 300 is coming next. Our support to watch for is basically at 280. So if 280 fails us, we dip back down. Overall, I think that Tesla's doing a better job at performing relative to the markets. We're seeing more analysts becoming a lot more bullish. And I think that we could try to retest 290. I think it's going to try to hold up very well. We'll see how well Tesla could maintain these levels and if we try to break out higher tomorrow with FOMC. But for now, I think that we're going to see a lot of sideways price action between 285 and 290. That's the range that Tesla's been in for most of the day, besides the little dip we got. So that's what I'm basically anticipating. A lot of sideways price action. We're just range bound basically around here. And that's what Tesla's essentially doing. For other factors out there, we have NQ. NQ is more bullish. Overall, it's getting bought back up, but we do have a tough resistance at 20,800. If we manage to break that, we're looking for basically 20,900 is our next potential target. And then if we end up dipping back down, our support happens to be all the way down here around this 20,725 area. So technically speaking, I would say that NQ is a little bit more bullish. We could attempt to push higher, try to push back up towards these next resistance areas, but we'll see if we break out or not. So I think that there's a good chance we try to break out higher above 20,800. We'll see if we break this, but there is most definitely potential in my opinion. For the QQQ, we look more bullish. As long as we don't lose 500, this is favoring 505. It could try to push a little bit more. Overall, it's doing a good job at holding up. Excuse me. As far as Apple goes, we did dip back down to about 220, only to get bought back up. As long as we're above 224.6, we are favoring 226 as a potential target. We're forming a nice cup on Apple, so it could attempt to rebound. Overall, looking a little bit more bullish. The IWM Russell 2000 is up almost 5%, which is pretty insane, but we remain range bound right now. So 238 is a tough resistance, and 235 is our main support. If 235 does not hold us, though, we could be dipping back down closer to where our gap area happens to be. But nonetheless, guys, I think we're doing a good job at holding up, and we could be looking for some new details as time goes on. I also want to call out that despite the gap that's here, we'll be watching to see how else things end up going. So give that some time to develop. For Coin, this is absolutely insane because of Trump's victory. Coin is on fire. It's running very, very hard. Be careful with it because it's already up so much. But there's no sign of it stopping yet. If we manage to get back above 244, we're looking for 250 is our next target. And if we end up losing 238, we're looking for basically 232 is our next support down here. But overall, Coin is looking a little bit more bullish to me, and we could be looking for the mid 240s. For Amazon, it's continuing to squeeze. So a little bit of a dip only to break out. We're going to be looking for an attempt to get back up to 207.5 and eventually 210. As long as we don't lose 202.5, we're favoring upside. For Meta dipped back down towards 560. We have resistance at 569. We're stuck in the middle. We'll have to see if we break past 569 or not, but we're just stuck in between these areas. So give this the time that it needs. So we'll see how it goes. I could be looking for 569 as potential targets, so give this some time. Microsoft is also range bound right here. We have 418 as resistance and 414 as support. It's going to likely consolidate. We might be dipping closer to 412, though, so just keep that in mind. For Google, we pumped up to 177.5. If we break this, we're looking for 180 as our next target. So now it's doing a good job nonetheless. The VIX is down quite a bit. It's down about 20%. We do have this big gap up here to fill, though. But as of right now, the VIX does remain a little bit more bearish. We're still waiting to see how well this holds up. We do have that gap to fill, so we'll see if the VIX gets a reversal later on, because the market could be looking for more downside in the future. So we'll be waiting for that. Until then, the market's not ready for the downside, so it may take a little bit longer for it to develop, and we remain technically in favor of bulls because we haven't lost our previous all-time high. We haven't lost our key support yet to turn more bearish, and the charts are holding up quite well. That's my honest opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. I'll see you guys very soon. For now, the market's range bound, but we are still in favor of the buyers. Things could shift later on, but we're just going to have to wait and see if we break those key supports. So watch for confirmation. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours, and peace out.